Okay, calm down.
You probably know that Jill Stein had asked Noura Erakat to run with her. Noura Erakat, the amazing Palestinian human rights attorney and academic and activist, she had asked her to run with her. And as Noura revealed on Twitter, she declined because she wanted the Green Party to agree to withdraw from the race if the Harris campaign agreed to enact an arms embargo and push for a ceasefire. I'm just curious if you have
Mhm.
any thoughts on that.
I look up to Noura quite a bit, and her body of work, I think, speaks for itself. I was disappointed, honestly, because I just thought it was a strange stipulation to have, especially given what we've seen from Democrats, not just in the past 10 months as it pertains to Palestine, but always. I mean, it's even before the genocide. I mean, the genocide has brought it more into view in terms of like the mainstream public or what have you. But I thought it was weirdly trusting that you know what my biggest fear, Katie, is that even if there were a permanent ceasefire without an arms embargo, I mean, I don't trust the Dems or the Republicans, obviously, to um, not continue sending them offensive weapons. I don't trust the Israeli Zionist state to actually stop the war, or I think the best case scenario of that is we just go back to the way it was before, which is once a year or every couple years we'll mow the lawn, so to speak, kill a couple hundred, several hundred, maybe 1,000 Palestinians, make our point, retreat back, let them be thankful we're not bombing them all the time, come back to it again and again and again. That's my biggest fear, is if we do get a permanent ceasefire, which would be great, that people are then the argument becomes, uh then they're going to argue, you got your permanent ceasefire, these Palestinians are unreasonable, not to be reasoned with. And we're
Right.
not even there. Like, the fact that we're not even there is a testament to just how vile the democratic position has been as it pertains to Palestine. I mean, both of them, both them and the Republicans, are just going to continue this imperial genocide, supporting their colony essentially in Israel, and not holding them even accountable for you know normalizing rape of Palestine. It's a freakish, vile status quo, and especially as a Palestinian, I mean, it's it's beyond the pale. It's gone way beyond the pale.
And do you have a candidate that you are excited about? Let me guess, Kamala Harris? No, I'm just kidding, sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help it, yeah.
Jill Stein's platform seems good. I personally have not felt this cynical in my life about any sort of electoralism. It's because the demand, like arms embargo, now is such a reasonable, enactable policy. It's no one is asking, and we know for sure that the DNC or the Democrats or the US is going to free Palestine. No,
Right.
I don't think there's any Palestinian who thinks so. And if they do, I mean, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. But it's just a very reasonable, enactable policy measure to say stop sending weapons that are directly going towards a genocide, towards murdering, carpet bombing, you know, bodies piled up. I mean, how many decapitated heads are we going to have to see, or melted flesh? Like, I
Shredded
struggle
bodies.
sometimes just how any of this is real, and it's worse than any dystopia imaginable. It's
Right.
worse than any horror movie or any sort of scenario, like and it's really happening, and it's my people and it's my family that have also been subjected to this.
Right, and then you get told you're like a spoiled purist politics right? Purity politics person.
Yeah, yeah. A
Unbelievable.
single issue voter,
Right,
or like, oh, that's too hard line. You got to be reasonable. Arms embargo now is the most reasonable you're gonna get.
right.
It's- I mean,
They also, I
it's
mean,
very,
this
it's
is
really frustrating.
they also, I mean, obviously, in addition to the worst is the killing of humans, right? The genocide, the ethnic cleansing, but also just the sadism and the sexual violence. But also, I mean, there's footage of them like literally assassinating a horse carrying supplies. Like
Yeah,
just the levels, like you were saying, like you think there's no bottom, basically.
I promise you, there have been times where I think it was like after Hind Rajab and hearing that phone call, I was like, it doesn't get darker than
No,
this.
right,
And they've managed to surpass it every month, darker and more vile and more disgusting. And, words, to the point that words don't do justice,
right,
how sick what Israel is doing to Palestine is. We're counting massacres now.
right,
There was a time, there was a time that one massacre, like let's say Sabra and
right,
Shatila, that we're like, I was raised to always hold it in mind, like don't ever forget what they did to
right,
us. We've had maybe 5 6 different massacres in the last just few months, let alone if we go all the way back to October and onwards.
right. It's
And it's just that the normalizing of it has become, even I struggle with it. I mean, it's, and it's like, okay, it's another massacre, and they murdered over 100 people. And look, there's a video you can watch, all their bodies piled up.
right,
Not a single body is fully intact
right,
with all its limbs. You had reports from Palestinian media saying that even the guys who went in, like struggled with the body collection process because it was just such a horrific scene. These are guys who have seen all that has come before.